Hello, wire wrappers. Today we are continuing and finishing our work, and this is the final part of our necklace. So, as you see on my ruler, how many centimeters I made already winding. So I have three wires, 0.75, my favorite thin thickness, because I like thin wires, and my stone is my favorite size of stone as well, so which we created last part. So is a framed we can make a frame stone, sorry. And now we are going to make another frame and fix our stone in the middle. So that's what I'm gonna do, is to overloop our stone. I'm doing it very gently, very slowly. There is no need to rush. It's a very slow and very careful process, because our frame must be round without any corners, very nice looking and very accurate. So do it please slowly. I took three long wires because even now I don't have an idea how I finish my connectors. So that's why I took around 25-30 centimeters length wires. And the winding actually doesn't important which style of winding you prefer. I took the basket. I decided to use basket winding. On my opinion, is the best winding in this case, because it creates the ornament which allows you to put the wire inside easily. So the three wires are not strongly tightened between each other, so it's a bit space between them. And it's also very easy. Which winding you prefer, I don't know, and it's up to you. So very slowly and gently. And now I see that my guess was wrong about the length of my winding, so I have to do a little bit more. I think so for those of you who are already professional about wire wrapping, you already realized what kind of winding I choose and how you should do it. So I repeat it again that on my opinion, it's my personal opinion, that this is the easiest winding for this job. So that's how it should be looking like. And my problem was that I wanted to make a bit asymmetrical jewelry, and per each side I have different stones, amethyst and clear quartz, from one side and other side, and my stone was a little bit different by size. Also it's Indian stones, and many of us know that when we buy stones in India, it's so hard to find two the same size, shaped and faceting stone. And I know a man who is working with the gold and silver, so he's also jewelry maker, and he was crying about Indian stones. So they are made awfully, he said, because the faceting is not professional. And when you're working with gold, for example, making the rings and earrings, it's pretty hard if the stone the stone is not perfect. It's very hard to fix it in the frame. But for wire jewelry, it's not really important. But my stone's a bit different size, so I have to trick with my frames to make them look the same. So one of my frames will be a little bit bigger. To make everyone think that that my stones are the same, so I will make a little trick about. So I cut my extra wires, I don't need them anymore. So this step must be done very slowly. So a little bit I changed the direction of my wires, and yes, I think so. The winding is not enough to finish the frame nicely. So I have to add some loops. Created the problem for myself, so I have to do some more winding. So on this stage, um, don't be lazy. Put the stone few times to make sure that frame overlooping the stone perfectly. That there is no space between two frames. Of course, our jewelry style, our techniques allow us to um, do like a small mistakes. We don't need a perfect shaped gemstones. But try to do everything neat. That's why we were struggling with our closed ring in the previous lesson when I was showing you how to do special frame for clear stones, because my stones have a very wonderful color, they are clear, and I didn't want the wire to be visible on the opposite side. So that's why we were so careful with the Viking knit frame to not break our closed ring. If you didn't watch this video, I really recommend you to have a look. So it was the lesson number 2, part 2, which is available right now, so please have a look. It's quite important to make a neat jewelry, professional like jewelry. If you don't have a clear stone, probably jasper or I don't know, whatever, which is not clear, because my quartz is clear like a water, so you can see everything what is under the stone. And I was thinking for so long time how to avoid extra loops, extra wires, and the result was fine because I was pretty careful in my work. Also, I was making jewelry with opened ring on the back side. I mean, in the Viking knit frame. It was pretty hard to control wires because they're falling off from the ring. I mean, the winding. So that's why I was searching for the ways how to close this ring and to keep it looking nice. So I finished my winding. Sorry, I a little bit took your time. So let's close these wires. Some other corrections, and I think so we're ready to go. So do this very closely, because when you do this action, you're pulling the wires automatically, and you can destroy the shape of your frame, and the shape must not be changed. If you will pull, you can make the frame smaller, so you have to avoid this mistake. So very, very slowly and gently, and don't try to press them in the same time. I'm pressing per each wire separately. This is a very strong connection. It's unbreakable connection, and it works, by the way, much better if you use a hammer for the ends of these wires. I'm not doing it today, but and in this place of connector is not really important, but sometimes I do. If the wires are flat, this action is much easier and better, and it's flat. So that's what I have on the back side of our frame. Now you can see my winding. This winding is also 2 per 2, but on the 3 wires. If you don't know how to do this wire winding, write me in the comments. Probably I will make a picture for you or something, because I don't really remember if I already have a video about or not. But I think so. If you decided to do a connector with such a difficulty, you already know. So I have to, unfortunately, I have to cut some of this video. I made many videos of this jewelry creating, and unfortunately I have to cut because otherwise it would be too long video, because it's a big work. So my apologizes for those who missed this part, who don't know how to do this kind of winding. But so many of you start to complain that the video is too long, it's so hard to watch to the end, we don't have so long time. So I'm showing you that just the most important parts of this work. So now here I have 3 wires, and I'm working only with the 2 wires which are on the top. The one which is down, I'm not touching it. So here I'm doing the winding 4 per 4, 4 loops together, 4 loops per 1 wire. I'm using the same wire. I'm keep on going. So I will show you the main process with the center, and the decorative loops are not really important, so I will show you just the result in the end. Again, I'm apologizing, but unfortunately I have to make my video shorter. So I'm finishing this wire, and I will do some more steps in this direction, in this order. So I will show you my winding. That's how it looks like, and I will do some more. And another frame will be ready. So we will have, in this connector, we will have 3 frames. One frame, it's a viking knit frame. Second frame is to connect the stone in viking knit frame, and the up little frame for a bead. That's how I'm making it. It will look like, the shape will look like the number 8. Is this also a gentle process? It must be perfectly round, so I'm careful about. And after I make the design of this number 8 frame, I suggest you to make another connector. If you have 2 like me per each side of your necklace, so do two of them, and I will show you why. Because now we're going to decorate the upside of our connector by something by waves or petals. I don't know how to call it better. Just give me a second. So this wire we were not touching, and I will use it to create a nice petal like a flower around this little frame, and I will put the bead inside of this frame. I will use my tools to make all the petals. This work is also accurate because after you use the tools it will be quite difficult to make the wires straight again. So be careful and think twice before make a decision what kind of shape your petals have to be. So the main aim of this video is to show you how to fix the viking frame inside of a winded frame. The ornaments and loops and all decorations does not really matter. It's just an example for you how you can organize this work. So I will do something like this. As I said, I didn't know from the beginning how my frames will look exactly. So that's why I took so long wires, because I don't know. Maybe I will change my decision somewhere in the middle of the work and add some more loops, or God knows what I'm gonna do. And generally I don't make a painting, so I'm working on the way and I'm making decisions on the way. So here I'm making a corner just to make these petals This frame is also asymmetrical, so the next petal must be the same shape as the previous, but the next one will be a little bit different, so it makes our work easier, because I don't like doing symmetrical things. It's very difficult when you're working with the wire. Maybe for me, I don't know. But for me, making two the same things is very, very difficult. Very difficult. I don't like doing the same things. I don't like cliches, you know. All my works are different, and I don't like copying something. So 3 wires again meeting each other. So that's how I make this asymmetrical. So you see this petal is not really petal shape, because I'm connecting all these 3 wires, and then I will move them down around our stone. So in this case I will leave it like this, and I will use my hammer to make the petals flat. Just I will beat the wire with the hammer, and please, before doing that, create the same connectors, the same, to make the petals looking the same. After you beat the wire, it will be changed, and the shape will be changed. It will be bigger, thicker, and it will be very difficult to copy it and do the copy of the same frame and the same petals. So on this stage, please leave your work and do the same connector, copy the petals, and only then use the hammer. So I finished my second connector. I used the hammer already. Probably it's too much light here, so it's not really visible. That's better. So here is my flat petals, and now this is the time for our stones. So I will do a little video of one connector, then to the other connector, and then I will probably choose which video I show you and cut them probably. So you see I have two. One is a little bit different shape. So as I said, it's a tricky thing because my stone's a bit different. One is more round, another is more oval, and even here the difference is visible, but I'm not going to describe this problem to you too much, but to make you understand why they are they have a little difference. So my wires are going left, and I put my stone, so you see how it will be looking like. My stone fits very nicely, and this little wire I didn't remove from the Viking knit frame, so I will fix the stone to the frame, so it will not falling off during the work. And now the longest and the most difficult part, annoying part of our video starting, because we have to connect two frames together. It's very easy it's very easy, you think, and for me, because I have a practice of this work, it's also easy, but to show it, it's not easy. And if you choose another winding style, it will be also not easy, because when your wire is not coming inside between the winding, it creates a problem. If so, please take the thinner wire, because there are 0.3 millimeters wire on sale, 0.2 millimeter wire on sale. So as you see, the back side is looking very nice. There is nothing extra, so that's why I spent too much time on these connectors to make them so nice. So the wire, thin wire 0.2, it's a gentle wire. You can tear it very easily, so you have to work very carefully. But if your frame's wire are too close to each other and you tighten them by winding, so you have no other choice, or you have to remake it to your frame. So that's what I do. I put my wire inside. This is the 0.4 millimeters wire, my general wire, my regular wire I use. So you see how easily my wire pricking the frame. Well, not so easily, but possible. So one end of the wire goes under the Viking knit frame, and I want to point you that it must go under the ring, exactly, and only the ring, but not under the Viking knit's petals. So try to not touch the petals. And pulling. In this case, pulling please gently, because we're just started, otherwise you will lose your wire, it will just fall off your work. So first fixation is done, and now you have to decide, or you are going to fix each step, so each part of winding, or you will miss some and you will have longer longer wire steps, as I call them. I don't know how to call it in English. If you connect the Viking knit part with the winded part by small steps, it will look nicer, yes, so it will be not really visible. But the strength of the connection itself doesn't really important how many steps you do. Even if you do 3-4 steps, you will fix the stone, it won't fall off. It's a rather strong fixation, so I really like it. It looks like it looks like it's a whole jewelry, so not made of pieces, especially after you patinate it, so it's absolutely not visible that you connected something. So I will use two connectors and make a videos per amethyst and clear quartz, just to show you from all sides. So this side must be connected to the frame, because this will be the first connection and the last one will be only under the stone, so we have to pull it tightly and connect these 3 wires to the frame. So putting the wire under, so now we're on the back side of the connector, so we're putting the wire under the ring of viking knit ring, and now we are moving to the front side and making sure that the petals of viking knit are not touched, otherwise the steps will be too long and it will be visible that this is a two connected parts, you know, and it will be looking not nice. So I'm not recommending you to be so lazy, and if you do that, please remove the wire and start from the beginning. It really costs your time, honestly. In the end you will have a very nice looking neat jewelry. So this part needs all your attention. So after you move to the front side, again you are putting the wire under the ring of the viking knit ring, and now we are moving to the back side again and do the same action. We are putting the wire in the winded frame into the first wire, because our frame consists of 3 wires, right? So we are putting our thin wire after the first wire, between the first and the second wires, the closest to our viking knit part. So I guess I described it well. Oh, my camera is moving again. I'm sorry. So that's why I stopped on this stage, because it's very, very important stage. That's why it took for me so long time for this video, and I have to cut the decoration parts, but I think so this is the most important, because you can decorate whatever you want, but this is a technique stuff, this is a technique question, so you have to be very patient about. So in this case I'm fixing these 3 wires. Few more steps more, and as you see I'm now holding it close to the camera, so you probably will see how I do it. So the little step appears. Now you see the space between 2 frames, but it's only because it's a big zoom now, but in the real life it's not visible at all. So on the back side again, and I'm moving to these 3 wires very slowly. I want my steps to be small, and I want to fix the stone all over the frame, but you can miss some if you want. So I'm not missing any hole in my winded frame, so per each I'm using each hole in my winded frame. So after each 2 loops I'm putting the wire inside. I don't know, I made the 3 parts of this video about these frame connections. Maybe one of them you will find. I don't know which one is better, which is closer to make you understand, because this is a really necessary. So this is the stone, which is smaller, and I have to make my frame a bit bigger. So that's why under the connector is not looking so nice as previous connector. But I have no other way, unfortunately. I was trying to find, but still my searches failed because I could not find two the same stones, neither violet nor white quartz, which was absolutely typically the same. Even the stones on sale in India, where they sell stones for earrings, and often sell a pair of stones, they are also irregular and not the same. So it creates a problem for professionals. But somehow we can avoid the problems and hide the difficulties and disadvantages by design, by loops, by curls, and to remove attention from these differences by decoration tricks. But the result will be, I think so, will be gorgeous result. So in the end of this video, you will see all the photos, and also you can join me at the Facebook and see the photos there, and also the jewelry with the yellow coral, which I finished and patinated already. So we are moving all over the frames. I hope so. All these videos I made shown you the process. I really hope so. Because I'm trying to work as close to camera as I can, but it's not always possible. So as you see, my wires like hugging the stone on the one side, just over looping, but only on the one side. And I also made some winding, and by this winding 4x4 I connected all the petals to the frame. There's nothing to explain about it. It's an easy. And I also put the little bead inside the small frame. So you see the result now. So you see how many things I did. And I didn't show you, unfortunately, to cut the video. So I add the open ring on upside. So I'm going to show you now all the changes. And here also a loop. And here, as you see, these three wires appeared as the three curls, which lays one on other. And I use some winding, as I say, eternity style winding, and connected these three loops together. So because the copper wire is very soft, and we put all the weight of our stones on this connector, so they must be strong. And also you see these three wires are also tightly connected to the frame, so you see these little steps on it here and here. So two loops, two opened rings. Here I add the bead as well. How you connect these three loops doesn't really important, absolutely, but they must be tightly connected. Otherwise, this decoration will be too soft, and these loops can be disformed while you will wear the jewelry, because our braided cord is chips. It's very heavy, by the way. So that's why. So let's connect everything together. I have amethyst and clear quartz, round and oval beads. And now I will make a connectors using the pieces of copper wire. So the simple actions, I think everybody know how to do this. Turn in left, cut in extra and make a loop. And we're gonna make many of these. And they will be on both sides of our necklace. So kumihimo on the center, then two wire wrapped connectors and many simple connectors with the beads like this. And the locket, of course. So all the crafts will be handmade except kumihimo cups. By the way, I remind you that kumihimo cups, handmade kumihimo cups, you can find at my YouTube in the video with the yellow coral necklace kumihimo. Also, in my Facebook, you can find the photos with the prenit kumihimo necklace, with the smoky quartz, with the alexandrite in the center. Also, very beautiful necklace. They are all different, but in the one technique kumihimo. Very beautiful. Sorry for such a long video, but this central work of our connector was so important, so that's why from each side I was showing you as good as I could. So this is the opening rings, which is very simple to do. I need just a round pencil. Pencil must be smooth and absolutely round, or pen. And just I'm looping the wire around. So I can take a long wire to make many of these. And it's quite economical to compare if you buy them in a store. And there also will be copper tone, but no solid copper, which is very important as for me because it's a solid copper you can wear forever, even then present to someone. But the copper tone is for a short time. So now we cut all our rings and just get the separate open jump rings. Very simple, and you can make lots of these rings and very fastly. So I have rings, I have tiny connectors with the beads, and I have a big wire wrapped connectors. So you see here loops, rings, for a better connection with another stuff of our jewelry. So you can make a shorter connectors, longer, using the bigger loops. If you want to make more, maybe curls, so then take a longer wires, around 40-50 centimeters from the beginning. I mean the winded frame. Maybe you will use some more things. My ones are simple. They're simple, but they're looking very, how you should say that, very attractive, very precious, very, very expensive. So I didn't add any other curls, any other small beads, no, nothing. I just like this design, just 3 loops on the downside, and that was enough. And by the way, they are just strong. If you're winding them together, it's a rather strong connectors. I was just trying to pull it somehow, to break it, but it's very nice. because I used the thin wire and connected loops where they touch each other, the curls themselves, and the three lines of wires. And also, it's the necessary to connect them to the frame, to the winded frame. Just make some tiny loop somewhere, so it will be not really visible, but it will make the connector stronger. So I'm opening and connecting. Actually, I'm not going to focus on it. And actually, guys, a little bit tired. Sorry about my hands are moving all over the table, and I'm in rush to finish everything and to see the result of our work. So I'll keep on opening the loops and connecting to the jump rings in any order, because I don't know what kind of beads you have, so I don't give any recommendation about. So I have a regular shape amethyst, oval shape amethyst, round clear quartz. So it's a light color amethyst, so one of my favorites. It's a light violet color. I like them much more than dark amethysts. Uh, Dark ones are more expensive, but I prefer the color like Rose de France, so it's like pinkish, purple amethysts. So I think so most of my beads are linked to the previous ones, so I have to add my kumihimo, my wire wrapped connectors, and to make a locket. So that's what I have, and yeah, I already connected them to our winded wire wrapped part, and now I have to do the same with another beads and to make another side of our jewelry. So another important thing is a locket. I want to make a simple, small locket. So take a longer wire and find in the center, press the center by my pliers very, very accurately and slow. I don't want to damage the shape, and it will be better if you use the hammer and make this side flat, because it makes the wire, the copper wire, stronger, and the look is a little bit different. But I'm so tired now after such a long work, so I'm not in the mood to use the hammer, and it's a lately night, so I will just make a hook and a little bit pulling up the end. So that's what I have. And now I move to opposite direction from my hook and make a curl. So cannot unfortunately hold my hands in front of the camera, but that's what I have. I think so it's very simple. I cut the extra wire, I don't need it. And make a loop using two wires in the same time. So So like this, putting my pliers inside of the loop again and pulling a little bit in opposite direction. So as you see, a little bit on the opposite direction, not really much. And we have a little circle. And a good link to our beads. In the same way we are doing, in the same way generally I make in most of my lockets. But also I like decorated lockets. But not today, too much work was before. So as you see, I can use the sides of my necklace as the chain because I have so many jump rings here. So a little bit about jump rings. So what is important? My wire is thin. It's 0.75 millimeters, and it's a copper wire, so it's a soft wire. So you see the these big jump rings. They can be opened easily if you try to tear the chain. But generally, if I do chain only with copper rings, I'm using double rings. So I take 2 rings and connect them with another 2 small rings, then add another 2 big rings, and etc. So if you use only 1 ring and connect it to another 1 ring, it's a so soft wire, so they will be opened very easily, and your customer can lose the necklace. So I'm just tried to do it fastly, but unfortunately I see that of course it's too thick a locket, so I will probably add a big ring to connect them together. So don't be lazy and do everything properly. So ready, but my chain has many small connectors with beads, so it will be not so easy to tear, to destroy the chain. But if your chain consists only of the rings, doesn't matter which side. The size can be 1 centimeter, 6 millimeters, whatever, but this is a soft, so be careful about it. Will be nice looking, but unfortunately it's not a strong chain. So now both sides of our necklace is ready, so it's a kumihimo turn, I think so. So how beautiful my quartzes looks like, amethyst and clear quartz, really wonderful and so shining. There's my locket. So simple. So any ring we can use, and it will be longer necklace or shorter necklace. Remember about the chain, it's very important, because so many times I made these mistakes, and my own necklaces, perhaps in the restaurant it happens once, in the car it was just, I lost my necklace. It was just destroyed. And it's very easy to tear, so that's why. So I opened my ring. I'm not using connecting rings in this case, because my rings are moving easily. I connected them with the thin wire, and they are moving from up to down side, I mean, and they are not strongly fixed. So that's why it's a flexible connection, more or less. So, oh la la, our necklace is ready. Applause, please. We finished everything, and I'm so glad that this project is finished, because a bit tired, because in double languages I was making it. And I hope so you found something interesting in this necklace, in this project. So as you see how beautiful it is, and I wish you to be inspired, to be patient if you decided to do faceted frame stones like I did, and wish you good luck in everything. Enjoy your jewelry and never be afraid to make an experiment. Just find for yourself something you discover and use different techniques in one jewelry. So it was Serena, wishing you all the best, and see you in my next lesson. Have a good luck, guys. Bye.